All right. We are ready to go.
All right. How's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I moved my whole setup today because I told you I had a hybrid event, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I moved my whole setup today, and now I have my speaker down by my knees, and I think that's the proper place for speakers, just saying. Because it used to be on its stand, like, 10 feet away from my desk. But now when I turn the music up and I get going and I get listening to some music, I feel that music in my chest. I really like this speaker. Mallory hates this speaker, but I really like this speaker.
So you need one more speaker and a subwoofer.
Oh, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Try to get a couple of clients in place so I can justify that. But yeah, she does not like it. She's like, why do you need such a huge speaker? Is this really necessary? And I said, yes. Yes, it is. Oh.
We're not going to talk about shoes. This would be my response to that.
I have something to show you.
Oh.
Are you ready?
I think.
And I want to know your thoughts. So let me mute this button and then press this button. Hold on. My phone is purring at me.
Purr.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Okay, so this is a test of a microphone that I'm not going to tell you which is which until we actually do the hot reveal. And this is a test of another microphone, again, that I'm not going to reveal to you which is which until we're live on Technically Working, but pre-recorded. So which mic do you think is which? Or do they sound pretty similar to you? They sound pretty similar to me.
So they sound similar, but it's kind of hard for me to get a lot of detail because that came through doubled. Kind of like when you don't turn off your monitoring in Reaper.
Wait, why did that come through doubled? Okay, hold on. I'm going to go look and see.
You sounded like a cheap 80s sci-fi show.
Mic only.
Like, I talk like this, but then when when I'm a different voice, there's doubled, so I sound like a robot. That is like, yeah, that's kind of how that came across.
That shouldn't be doubled, though. Mute when capturing. Hold on, if I hit this, you don't have two of me, do you? I'm not doubled right now, am I?
Nope.
Huh. Does this play double?
Hey there, you've reached bed.
Was that doubled?
Yes. Yep.
What's going on with it, Damashe?
I have no idea.
Wait a minute. Let's see. Input device, mic only.
Do you guys have bug sprayer trucks out there?
I'm sure we do.
There's one going down my street right now, and I swear all they've done my entire life is make stuff stink and juice up the bugs.
Yeah, get the bugs to come out and play. Do you have Farrago enabled?
I do not even have Farrago installed, I don't think.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I do.
I was going to send you this audio and see if you can play it.
So, shout out to our listeners, for sure. Thanks to our tip jar supporters. We greatly appreciate you. Feedback at technicallyworking.show is a working email address where you can send your feedback about the show. Thanks to all of our new listeners. Welcome to the show. Michael was on Double Tap recently. So Michael's been on Double Tap twice, like once each in the past 2 weeks. So it was an episode where he shots fired, man. Like we talk about technology 90% of the time. Like, oh man, that was I really needed to be on that show just so I could have my little man down. Jeez, Mike, that was tough.
Yeah,
that was tough. But Mike was also on this past Friday as we were recording the show. Was it Friday?
Yes.
I think it was Friday.
Yes, it was. Well, I mean, yes, I was on Friday.
Yes,
we recorded it and aired Friday. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was on the Friday show. Yeah,
yes.
That's the point.
Yes.
With Jeff Bishop.
Yeah.
I would say shout out to Jeff Bishop, but Jeff doesn't listen to my show, so, whatever.
Like
They don't
Jeff
care.
and Doug don't. I found out
Not-
certain people listen to our show. I feel like this happens on a very regular occurrence. It's like,
Yep.
you listen to Technically Working? Well, thank you. I appreciate you. I will thank you if you tell me you listen to the show in the wild. Just saying.
Yeah, it happens. It does happen. What is very strange is people who have my phone number and I have their phone number and I can call them and they can call me and we can iMessage and WhatsApp and even in some cases signal each other. Don't listen to my show. So I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to feel about that. But I'm not bitter at all, Jeff and Doug.
And
I
Doug.
don't want to talk about you because you ain't listening, so you can't say nothing.
Doyes listens every week.
Shout out to Doyes.
Yeah. It might take him a day or two, which that's fine. That's fine.
That's fair,
He
man.
still
I don't
listens
listen
to it, though.
Yeah, I don't listen to every, like there are shows that I routinely will try to make, I will even go back and catch up on it if I'm like a week late or something. Now, to be fair, I don't listen to Double Tap every single episode. I will kind of, but they're a daily show.
Yeah.
So that's a little, heavy, but Double Tap will be in my rotation if I'm just working, like I'm just working and I need some audio to listen to and I don't need music because I'll start singing the lyrics and I don't need to say certain stuff around people. Double Tap falls into that because it's always going to be decent content. I'm going to probably find out about a thing I didn't know about or whatever. So Double Tap is a great show to record, but I can't do a daily podcast. I don't have a scenario that allows me to just be like, oh, I'm going to listen to this every day.
Yeah.
We're weekly, so you can listen to us. But it's okay if you don't. Shout out to Doyes for listening, though. We appreciate you, just like we appreciate everybody else. I don't know about that Doug guy, though. And Jeff, man, geez, like Jeff, really?
So I sent you the audio that I tried playing in. And even if you can't play it in, you should listen to it and I can dub in the audio, into recording. I can just paste it in there, but I'm curious if you can tell which mic is which.
Do not disturb. Michael Babcock has, notification silence.
Yep.
All right, let me check out this audio. Oh, wait, that didn't work. All right, I'm listening to the audio.
Okay, so this is a test of a microphone that I'm not going to tell you which is which until we actually do the hot reveal. And this is a test of another microphone, again, that I'm not going to reveal to you which is which.
So this is a
until
slightly unfair test because I don't know what the other
on
microphone
Technically.
is, but I'm guessing one
But
of the microphones you use is the Beta's 87A. Right?
One is the Beta 87A and one is the SM58.
Okay. I am going to say the second one is the Beta 87A.
You are wrong. The first one is the Beta 87A. Second one is the SM58. And the one I'm talking to you right now is the SM58.
Ah, okay.
So
It's
it's
kind of hard to tell the difference, and I'll
Right.
tell you why I picked what I picked. So there was like a little weird, like just brief second hiss. Like it wasn't long and it wasn't loud, but I could hear it on the first one, which is the 87A. And I figured you would exaggerate your voice more on the 87A because that's the mic that you've been using, which is also why I picked that to be the second one. But nope, that was the first one.
yeah.
Okay.
They sound very close to each other. I was
They do.
shocked by how closely they sounded to each other. Now, it is nice to have cables not all over my desk. Ha 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 ha. Joking. I have cables all over my desk, but one less cable running across my desk is nice. But I don't know. I'm not. I used them in a hybrid environment today at our local senior center, and they sound pretty damn good. I don't know that they sound $650 good for two of them.
Well, factor this in. Think about it from this perspective, though. Number one, the 87A is generally average selling price is about $250.
Yeah. Yep.
You're getting two mics that are very similar in quality to that, and you have wireless.
Yes. And you don't have to have phantom power. Just saying.
So see, that opens up a whole range of ways to.
And you have
Hook those
XLR
devices
and
up.
1/4 inch for each mic to go out from the receiver.
Yeah, so that gives you a range of options. So I would say for two mics, if you just say on average, $200 per mic plus the wireless receiver,
Yeah, that makes sense.
600 doesn't seem bad.
Yeah.
Because I mean, honestly, I couldn't tell the difference. Like
Yeah.
I really couldn't tell the difference. I guess mostly because you talked a little more on the second one. Like, well, that's the mic he's used to using, so it's probably the one he talked a little bit extra on.
Right. Yeah. But no, I'm pretty satisfied with them. We are gonna put them to the test this weekend. And by the way, just a heads up, this is our last time we are recording live for a couple of weeks. So
for a long time. It's all over. The show's over. Go home. We're done. No.
What are we on? 132 now?
Yep. We're on 132.
We should talk some numbers here in a minute too, by the way.
It would seem reasonable to me for the affiliate to pick up a little bit of that cost. Maybe not cover the entire cost, but pick up a little bit of that cost, because I'm going to say honestly, your main reason for purchasing these was to make your hybrid events for ACB of Oregon better.
Yes. Yes. That is the primary reason for it, for sure. So we can propose that and see where that goes. I talked about returning them. Honestly, I'm probably going to keep them to be fair, because you can't have too many mics, I think. And you
can't have too many mics is a real thing.
eBay.
So yeah, I'm going to say, like, you can't have too many mics is a real thing. Especially if you're us or you're like us. Because you never know, right? And I want to go back to 5-6 years ago. And we talked about this on the DM series, where we have been spending an inordinate amount of time and probably stupid amounts of money on audio equipment, trying out different things, trying out systems, trying out software, trying out hardware. But it's all in preparation. Like, Mike is ready to do what he's been doing for, I would say, probably at least the past 2 years now, going into your third year of doing hybrid events. We did talk about it on the show, so I can say, like, Mike also, was critical in the audio presentations and streaming for ACB's national convention. And if we hadn't been doing all the crap we were doing where people, and by people, I mean, like, Tia and Mallory, like, what the hell are they buying now? If we hadn't been doing all of that, you really would not have been fully prepared for where you're going now. And so this is also a reason that I will be so critical of people making certain types of moves. And I'm careful, at least in public, not to criticize or bash a person for a decision that I feel is stupid or ridiculous or unwarranted. I'm going to charge people for my AI generated app. And I don't know enough about app development to do any testing for security. I don't even think about testing for security, first of all, etc. But I'm going to put this out here and sell this. I'm going to criticize a decision. I try not to criticize a person by name because I don't think that's fair. At least not for me to do it publicly on the show, because we're a big show. I don't know if you know this or not, Mike, but we're doing numbers.
People listen to us.
Yeah, exactly. You know what's really important? I said this a long time ago with the DM series too, though. Our listenership for the DM series now, technically working, is going to be way bigger than that was. But even with DM series, we didn't have a ton of listeners, but we did have very influential listeners. And I've always said when it came to social media that, I don't really care about having 100,000 followers if my 200 followers can repost what I just posted and reach 1 million people.
That's deep.
That is deep.
Yeah.
I know. It's surprising. But if you think about it, I did tell you that a long time ago. I was like, man, I don't care how many followers I got. What I care about is the quality of the followers I have, because the people who follow me on Twitter, for the most part, I would say out of the, I don't know, like 300 followers I had at some point or whatever, about a good 75 of those people were actually people, if they retweeted, like I would reach hundreds of thousands of people if they retweeted something that I tweeted, which is cool. No, I didn't go out to see those people, but I do care about quality over quantity. But going back to my point about honing your craft and learning things, we did this because we both love audio. Like like Mike will tell you, like he probably could go on a whole rant that I would end up feeling embarrassed about being such a jerk about audio sometimes. But I'm really nope, don't want to use that word. Okay, so I'm a butthole about audio. I tried to go with a word you wouldn't have to bleep, but the one that came to mind is not the one you want to use. And I will let people guess at what that word was. But I am really annoying sometimes about audio quality. I imagine I am, or I can be. But we started this whole thing, spending our money, trying out different stuff, and we never set out. At least I never set out for sure. And I don't think Mike ever set out like, oh, I'll buy this thing, try it out, send it back. That was never the plan. It's like, oh, I think this will work. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And oh, it lets me do this. Nope. It doesn't do any of the stuff I need to do. I'm sending it back. Like it does nothing I need to do, or there's an inaccessible portion to it. I can't use it. It's going back. Otherwise, we bought it and we kept it and we used it until we figured out a better way to do something, or we learned something different. But all of that was learning. And now Mike is out here with his wireless mics and he knows how to go set this up. He's not showing up to, like, he grabbed all the crap. Literally. Think about this, people. Seriously, think about this. Mike took everything off his desk. I don't know how much he took with him, but he took most of the stuff off his desk today. And yesterday, this was not the plan. I'm pretty sure yesterday, this was not what Mike was planning to do. Or at least Mike wasn't planning to do this before today. Like, when he took all this stuff with him, he gets to a place, he sets it up. I saw in the text message, you had to use your hotspot. But everybody came in clear. Everything worked. Everything was great.
Yep.
But if we hadn't have been putting the time and effort into learning about this stuff, figuring out what works, figuring out how to combine hardware and software to make all of this work. And we started this 2018, 2019. So we're seriously talking 6-7 years ago. Mike wouldn't have been ready to do the thing he did today. It's like, oh, I need to take all this crap because I said I was going to do this thing, but also I have a chapter meeting at the same time. So this is what we're doing today.
Let's roll with it. You know, Mallory made an interesting comment to me today, and it's those that are closest to us that make the most observational comments that you don't really think about. And because I asked her, I said, I know you want to help. What is it that you want to do? And she goes, I don't have to help you. I can just sit in the corner and just get you hooked up with power and let you do it. And I said, but I know you want to help. And she goes, what becomes the most frustrating part for me, being her, is when we get to a place and you set stuff up and then things don't work the way you want them to. You hold your face and you breathe deeply and you don't speak in complete sentences. I'm like, wow. You do pay attention to me because I'm frustrated at the point. I know what needs to happen, and either I forgot something or I don't know why it's not working. So you're right. So today, I set everything up on my own. She helped me get set up with power. I was trying to be more aware of asking for assistance instead of trying to do everything at my own. For example, hey, did you see where I set this cable? Or did you see where the power cord is? Or that type of stuff. And I think that helped. That helped there not be as much stress or frustration between the two of us because we both are very thick-headed and want to do it our own way. And I think with the communication, it definitely helped. But I got everything set up, and then I had no audio out of the Vocaster. And I felt myself putting my hand on my face, starting to breathe. I'm like, wait. She just said that. I need to not do that. What is going on? And I paused and I did not solve the problem until I got home, but I came up with a solution while I was at the venue. And that is that, So I made a change, which I should not have made a change. I should have just pulled everything off and then plugged it all back in the way it should have.
With stuff,
I know. But what I used to have the Vocaster plugged into was channel 2, right? So I wanted to plug both wireless mics. We only ended up using one, but I wanted to plug both wireless mics into channels 1 and 2. Because to me, that makes sense. They're both plugged in the same section
Stereo
of the board.
group.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I plugged channel 3 into the Vocaster, or the Vocaster into channel 3. Well, channel 1 and 2 are combo jacks. So they have XLR and quarter inch, and the quarter inch is in the middle of the XLR connector, right? So when I plug the Vocaster into channel 3, that is a left-right pair of quarter inches below an XLR jack. So you can either use the quarter inches or you can use the XLR jack. It's not a combo jack. I plugged it into the bottom jack and I plugged it all the way in and couldn't figure out why I couldn't hear voiceover or anything. I even played a technically working episode, so I had constant working audio. So when I got audio out of the speaker, I could hear it, obviously, without having to keep pressing buttons on voiceover. See, another tip that you learn when you're doing this on a regular basis. But I pulled the cable out a little bit, and then I heard Damashe's voice, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're just going to leave it right here and not plug it all the way in. And I told Mallory, I'm like, that's not ideal for convention. I got to figure out why I was able to plug in the Vocaster cable all the way into what it was plugged into and not have to have it halfway out. Well, now
so hold on 1 sec before you continue though. So what were you running? What was plugged into the Vocaster to send that into that quarter inch?
Quarter inch headphone jack.
Okay, so you went headphone out.
Yep.
To the quarter inch in.
On channel 3, yes.
But okay.
I think what happened, and I don't know that it's panning related, but when I came home and I set everything back up for recording with you, I plugged in the Vocaster into the top jack, not the bottom one, and I can plug it all the way into that one. So I think it has to do something with the balance or something.
It's either panning or balance or so, because basically it's sending a mono signal and it's going left.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, but now it's working just fine. But again, it's evolving in the moment and trying to solve problems that come up. And I in my mind was like, what in the hell is going on? I've literally done this for 2.5 months now with the same exact setup. Why is it not working?
Because it's not the exact same setup. That's why. But now let me ask this question. Are you going quarter inch into channel 2 with the Vocaster normally, like the way you're set up now? Okay.
Yes, but there's only 1 quarter inch on channel 2.
Right. I got you. But that's also making that a mono channel. So that quarter inch is doing mono, is not doing stereo, is what I meant. Well, I'm not going to say that because I don't know enough about some of this stuff to make that decision. Here's a question though. Why not use a XLR in for channel 3 if you're going to do that?
Because I don't have a quarter inch to XLR and I don't want to use an adapter to take it from an 1/8 inch to quarter inch for the headphone jack.
Ah, gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's another question. The wireless mics were plugged into channel 1 and 2 today at the event.
Yes.
Those XLR in?
Those are, they're XLR or quarter inch out of the wireless
what did you plug? I'm saying, what did you plug into the board?
XLR.
Did you plug in the quarter XLR?
Yeah, XLR to XLR.
So I'm going to ask you the obvious question.
I know.
Yeah. Why not just go why not just go XLR into the board on channel 3, XLR into the board on channel 4?
On channel 4. Yep. Yeah, I know. I don't have an answer for why I did that. Aside from, for some reason, I always want to plug my mics into channels 1 and 2.
Channel 1 and 2.
I don't know why.
I get it. I completely get, like when you said it, I was like, oh man, like you shouldn't have done it, but I know why you did it, because you always want the actual microphones that are providing the audio to go into channel 1 and 2. And that is just a for some reason hard set habit for me too on any any mixer that I plug something into, like I want my mics to go into, and you hear people say, oh yeah, I have my microphone going into channel 4 and I have this going into channel 1. And it's like, no, you're doing it wrong.
I think for me, what it is I always know where channels 1 and 2 are. Always. Like, you don't have to count over
Yep,
3
they're right
channels to find the slider to pull someone's volume down when you're in a live environment.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
But what I would suggest is use channels 3 and 4.
Mhm.
And it's a learned thing to be like, oh, okay, I know what it, because here's the thing. Like, if you really think about it, I think naturally we want to go that way, right? Because when we first started using these kind of boards and stuff, it's like, oh, well, I always know where channel 1 and 2. So I can quickly pull myself down. I can quickly turn myself down.
Yeah.
I know where that channel is. It's right there. But I think you will find, Mike, that you are much more adept at getting to a channel if mentally you know this is always going to be plugged into that channel. You'll find that you can hit 3, 4, probably 5, 6 without actually physically having to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, I think you will find that you've gotten to a point that has just become kind of a ingrained thing for you at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, I just reached over and I found where 3 was pretty quickly. There's screws on the board. And honestly, I do, because I'm not using all of these channels at once, you put the slider all the way down that's to the right of the channels that you need to manipulate. And then you just slide your finger down until you hit that slider and then go from there too. So there's ways to work around it for sure.
Yeah, and you're thinking out a way, but I really think kind of innately, like you have figured out. And it may be that, like, that may be subconsciously what you're noticing, but I think you'll find, because I found myself doing that with the Soundcraft after a while. It's like I was really paranoid about plugging stuff in, but once I really started kind of fiddling around and setting up weird audio routing scenarios, the only thing that screwed me up was the knobs for like the auxes, but it's because I didn't use them a ton, right? But just moving a slider or adjusting the gain, like I knew where those gain knobs were and I knew where those channels were, and I wasn't sitting there literally counting 1, 2, 3, 4. And okay, let me fix that volume because Zoom is way too loud.
Right.
But it's an experience you learned, and that's the thing. You made it work, right? That to me, I think, is the second most important thing, is that you did make it work and it worked out. But the most important thing is you learned a thing about you and about yourself that you will continue to work on and improve. Right. And I was just talking to, I've actually had this conversation with, I just had this conversation with my mother. I may have had the other conversation with myself. I can't remember now. This has been a couple of days. Or I could have had this conversation with you. I don't remember. I talked to somebody. It was not myself. I don't think it was you. But at any rate, let's get to the point of what the conversation was that I had. Is I have been realizing, and I've said this before, like I have to learn to be a manager of people, but I'm not what I think of as a manager of people, because I don't like to micromanage. It annoys me for me to be micromanaged, and it annoys me to have to micromanage, to be quite frank with you. Like, it's not even just, I don't like it. I don't like doing it. It's irritating. Here's your job, do your thing and go do the thing. If you got questions, come ask your questions. But I don't want to have to stand over your shoulder every 2 minutes or every 7 minutes and 52 seconds. I'm like, hey, you got this? You sure? Do I need to check on you? I don't like that. I don't like it at all. But what I've been learning, and what I was telling my mother today, is like I've started to look at the individuals that have worked for me, and that, obviously they're not here anymore, because otherwise they'd still be here. And I wouldn't be making it work the way it's working. But what have I learned from each of these individuals that have worked for me, and then at some point in time left? Now, one thing that I pointed out a couple of weeks ago is, I think maybe I'm putting too much on an individual and just saying I need one person that can roll with me, because, I'm fit enough to do this job that it doesn't bother me. I can get up every day and go sling sodas, move cases of sodas, load machines and like I'm not physically worn out at the end of the week. Like I don't think there's been one time where I might have texted you and be like, I can't record because I'm still up here or whatever, or this came up or I'm trying to do this, but it's never been like, hey man, I can't record because man, I'm tired as crap and I need to go to sleep.
Yeah. Nope.
So that's one aspect that's one thing that I've come to realize. Like maybe it's for most people, or at least the people I've been hiring, like it's too much to put on one person, right? And instead of them being an adult, which is what I think people should actually do, because I'm just going to be honest about it and say, hey, I would like a break, or I need a break. Or if I don't get a break, I'm going to, break down and fall to pieces, however they choose to put it. But you're an adult, right? Speak up for yourself. I realize it's probably not the way that I should think about that. Because as I, have said to some people, I have to realize that one of my responsibilities as the business owner in the HR department and all of that is I have to do more thinking for my people than I think I have to, than I think I should have to. I'll put it to you that way. Perhaps this is a thing that everybody deals with. I'd love to hear your feedback at technicallyworking.show. If you're in this position, you're like, oh yeah, you always got to think for the people under you because, they're not going to tell you things. We don't need any of your stories that they're goofy or they're silly and they don't understand, because people are fairly decent at doing their job. It's just, I think people really don't have the fortitude to come say, I need a break. I don't know what it is. It could be this blind dude is depending on me to run his business. I can't tell him I need to take a day off. It could be something as simple as that, right? Which I don't find offensive, but I do find stupid.
Right.
Because if you don't take care of yourself, there's no way you can help me if you're not taking care of yourself. So if you need a day off, say you need a day off. Speak up. But nevertheless, apparently I need to start thinking about this for people, because they're not going to either think about it or they're not going to tell me. So let me start doing that sort of thinking. But as I've said, I've also been thinking about what have I learned from each person. And with the particular individual that's working for me right now, one thing that I realized this, and I think I said this on the show. I know I said it to you personally. I may have said it on the show too. After that car wreck, when I couldn't go do anything. I physically couldn't even get myself in the van, like let alone talking about moving something. Like I couldn't show up to supervise, for a few weeks. I realized like, okay, I've had a lot of stuff in my head that was not laid out in a way for people to just go do it, right? Without me being there. And an example of this is like, you could walk into one of my storage units, the storage unit I had at the time, where I was storing chips and candy. And if you walk in and just glance at it or look at it and you don't know anything about anything, man, this doesn't make any sense. I'm confused as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I could go up there and pack up, 3 containers of chips, then no problem. Because I knew where stuff was. Like it may have looked, it's kind of like your desk. Like you kind of know where stuff is on your desk, even though it look chaotic.
Yep.
It's a version of that. Shut up. It's a version of that. And I realized like I can't run the business that way because these people don't know where stuff is. It's in this container and I've got Braille on the container. In some cases, there's Braille everywhere, but there's no print. Okay, I got to solve that problem. I got to fix that. All right, that's kind of an obvious thing, but I was doing most of that work until I couldn't. So that changed some things. But working with this particular guy right now is like, okay, it is better for me to put stuff on paper, which means sit down, open up drafts, type out what I need, send it to the printer, and give it to him. I'm like, this is what I need you to pack up. And man, when I gave this guy a sheet of paper with, I want you to pack this container up this way, and I want 2 just like that. And I wrote all that on the paper. And then I need another set of containers that are a little smaller, those containers, the clear ones. And I need 2, and I need them just like this. Man, when I tell you, it was done perfectly. Like, it was excellent, dude. Like, I went to the rest area with this guy and had him doing one machine. I'm over here working the chips, and I didn't, mind you, I packed none of these chips in here. But I could take them out and stick them exactly where they need to go in the exact order. the exact amount that needed to be where it was supposed to be. Like, it was excellent. The only thing I did, and the reason I actually did the chips, because I'm like, I got to move some of this around probably because I'm going to stick a bag in there and figure out that one don't quite fit the way I thought it would fit there. So I got to move it to make some adjustments to that template. So essentially, to shorten this whole process up, I had to be more physically organized in the world than I was.
Right.
Mentally, I was organized and I knew what I wanted to go where, but physically that organization was not there. And I have learned to do that working with this guy to a point that, like, I feel more confident today that I could send almost anybody with a couple of printouts and say, do this. And if you don't get it right, it's because you really didn't try, or you just were not paying attention and you went and did whatever the hell you want to do. Not that I didn't give you clear verbal instructions that you may or may not have remembered word for word.
It's a learning process for working with people, because people work differently. When you find the people that you can work with and that you can, like, we've got a volunteer. I'm not going to call her out, with community, but she knows who she is, and anyone else involved in community knows who she is as well.
Jamie.
No, what? No.
I was,
okay. I'm like, I don't know
I
what
was
Jamie.
being funny.
Wait, is there a volunteer
Yeah,
I don't know about?
No. I was erroneously throwing out a name that I knew was not going to be the name, and I don't know who Mike is talking about, by the way. But I just knew that was not going to be the name, so I just came up with, like, yeah, Jamie, we're talking about you. Absolutely, it's all about you. No, I'm just kidding.
But no, like, I get feedback from this individual and they give me the information that I need. And honestly, if I say, hey, can you go do this? Or can you help with this? It's done and it's handy. But I've learned how to work with that individual. My problem is delegation. I am horrible about delegating tasks to other people.
Man, that's the other part of my thing too, is like, first I had to, like, I was forced to delegate.
Yeah.
And I think I may have tried to communicate this, and I may have not have put it in those exact words, but that was my biggest issue after this car wreck. Like, I was forced to delegate. Otherwise, there was going to be no snacks going in anybody's machine anywhere.
But yeah,
and yeah, I'm terrible at delegation. Like, that's the problem. That's why so much of this stuff, like, literally, I could walk in and be like, I need you to grab this soda or this case of sodas or that case of soda. I don't see that. It's in here. I promise you it's in here. Maybe somebody stuck it somewhere they wasn't supposed to stick it, but I know it's in here because I used it. Because it's in my head. I know it.
Yeah.
I know what I bought, and I know what I've used. And while it may seem outrageous to most people that I can keep keep track of that stuff in my head, it is a rarity that I am wrong. And I would say is more often that somebody would say, oh, we don't have those chips, or I don't see those chips, or I don't see that particular product that you're talking about. Right. Mm-hmm. I'd be damned if a week later or so, somebody else go be like, oh yeah, I see such and such over here. What you going to do with these? I knew it was in there. I knew it was in there, and this just wasn't looking. So yeah, I'm terrible at delegating. So that's the thing I've had to learn.
Yeah, delegation is my challenge, and I'm getting better at it. I made a change in my builder tool.
Until you stop messing with stuff.
No, this is a good change. I got some feedback from someone that said, hey, I'd like to know if a call is longer than 1 hour, because I went to a call and it was 2 hours and I didn't plan for it to be 2 hours. You know, that's a reasonable request.
That's good Makes feedback. Sense. That is.
Like,
yes.
Thank you. We already are tracking that information for our volunteers, because if someone volunteers for an event, they have to know that it's longer than an hour.
Need to know how long it is. Exactly.
Yeah. But to me, I guess I didn't really think about the attendees knowing how long this call is. So Builder and I and ChatGPT/Copilot got together and we said, hey, here's a solution. Why don't we tell people all events are 1 hour unless stated otherwise? And then if an event is shorter or longer than an hour, there will be a note above the description that says, note, this event is 90 minutes. This event is 2.5 hours, right? So I implement, well, I replied to this person's email on Thursday and I said, I appreciate your feedback. I will be sure to see what we can do about implementing this, but please realize that it probably won't happen immediately. That was before I started thinking about the actual problem to be solved. And then I started thinking about, I'm like, why can't it happen immediately? Like, we're systematically generating the schedule. We could do this. So got that implemented and started sending it in Friday evening's email. And she emailed me today. She goes, I really appreciate what you did. I noticed that you now are putting in the times for events that have differing durations than 1 hour. And I replied to her and I said, yeah, and now it's in the system. So as long as someone uses a system to generate the schedule, that information should be included. And it was just a cool little, I wouldn't call it a whole new version update, but it was an update
that's a point
impacts
update.
things.
That is a point update. That would be, so if you were at version, say, let's just say you were at version 1 is what you're recalling where you were, that would be 1.1 or
Right.
1.2. Because your 1 point something would be a bug fix if you're using the and now I don't remember the name of this system, but not everybody, but most people use it. Like Apple uses this. Like you can tell what's a bug fix versus something that's going to have some potential new features in it with most software. Cause like 26.0.1, that's a bug fix.
Bug fix. Yeah. Gotcha.
26.1, you got new emojis.
Yeah. New features, new emojis. I like it. Yep. That's right now I'm
That's
using
cool.
a system that it's version 2. I'm just leaving it on version 2 right now. And it's build number. And then it is the date and year, month, day, hour, minute, 24-hour format. And that's the build number. So I can go look and say, oh, this build was generated 2 days ago. And I have a newer one on my desktop. Let's update it and replace it. So that's how I'm tracking what version of the software is built.
Oh man, Mickey B is grown up. He's doing all this stuff that I was like, I'm gonna have to talk to Mike about version numbers at some point. Mike's already got his thing working. I like that. And I like that better than the version 2025 dot 10 dot 14 as your version number, which some people have switched to doing, which is stupid annoying. Like, just make it a freaking build number, man.
Yep. The build number is the date that anyone who happens to get their hands on Builder, which if you want Builder, it's not going to do you much good if you're not doing community stuff. But anyone who happens to get their hands on Builder, if you go to help and then you go to about, it's right there on that main screen. So
that is nice. I like that. Good job, man. Good job. And I like the feature add-on. And what I really like about this from a customer service perspective is you under promise, over deliver.
Yep. Like I think I made
this is
her
not
think
going to happen immediately.
Yeah.
And then
And then it happens the
Friday
next day.
I like that. I really, really like that.
Yeah. So we'll see. Big test for Builder, and I will come back to the show and let people know how it goes in not full details, but in detail, because over the next couple of days, I am stress testing Builder since I am gone Friday, and I'm not
He's out here, and I won't even have internet to help you fix it.
Yeah. So I want to make sure everything's working well. It seems to be, but I'm also not doing any more development like that. I probably shouldn't have done what I did, but
And
it worked.
now I'm going to go back to the people who are like, why is he picking on Michael? And Michael's just trying to help people out is why I said, stop messing with things. Stop screwing with stuff, man. Because it needs to be stable.
Yes.
Leave it alone.
It's funny because the built version says stable in the title bar, and Cindy a couple weeks ago goes, why does it say stable? It's not stable. So much better.
All we're doing is bug fixes.
Yeah.
All we're doing is just bug fixes. That's all we're doing. If something breaks, we'll fix that. Otherwise, no changes, Mike.
Yeah.
There's a hard no changes. Did you listen to this episode of
Yes.
Under the Radar?
I did.
Okay.
No changes.
You are at that
all.
point
Yep.
where there's a braille sticky note right under your keyboard that says no new features.
Yes. No new features.
Because
Just fix the stuff
literally,
that's broken when it's broken.
just fix anything that does not work. So stress test the crap out of it. If you need me to, jump in and kind of do something weird or create a weird scenario, let me know.
Yeah.
Because literally you really won't be here to fix it. So
Nope.
make sure it works. But man, listen, I haven't said it to you in a while. And I don't know that I actually said it to you on the show, so I'm going to say it to you on the show. Man, pat yourself on the back for creating an automation tool that really solved a problem, though. Like, it has really elevated what you're able to do. So all the time that we've been talking about this builder tool for like what seems like the past 4 months.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. And this,
Mike, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and this started with a command line program, and I realized that's not going to be
interface because you couldn't hand it off to anybody else.
Yes. So, yeah.
So pat yourself on the back for creating something great. And I mean that with no irony and no sarcasm whatsoever. Like, you did a really good thing, man. Like, I'm proud of you for having done that. I'm also proud of me for pushing you into getting into programming crap.
Right.
You just didn't realize that's where I was shoving you at, because I was just casually nudging Mike. And man, but you really did make a thing, man. Seriously. Like, all jokes aside, you made a thing.
Yep. And when I was using
valuable.
It is. And when I was using it today, I'm like, man, every time I use it and do something and it works smoothly, which is more often than not now, knock on wood. But every time I use it, I'm like, man, this stuff is cool. That's not the word I use, but
Don't knock on wood, man. That got picked up all in your microphone stand. It was horrible.
Oh, that's horrible.
Find a piece of wood to put to the side. It's not where your mic is.
Not my desk.
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid if I knock on the wall next to me, my neighbor will be like, what you want?
Half a turkey fried stack. Lemon pepper.
So yeah, we'll report and let people know how many, if any, problems are there. The cool thing is that people who will be using the tool can manually do the schedule if everything breaks, but I don't anticipate it breaking, and that's why we're going to stress test things to make sure that works.
And I'm going to take you back to episode 37 of the DM series where we talked about automating. I probably got the number wrong, but I'm going to act like I got it right. Where it says you don't start automating stuff until you know how it works first.
Yes.
And I was about to make that exact point that you just made, which is the people who have to deal with this, if for some reason it just catastrophically fails, they know how to do the job. It's just going to take them longer.
Yep.
But Mike works on this. He's been working on this constantly. Like, I mean, I don't know if people realize it or not, but a lot of times we've been recording technically working, and Mike has been working on this.
It's a habit.
But it's a good habit now. So I don't know if you'll recall this, but there are times years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago now, at least a good 3 years ago at the latest, that this would have been happening to me, where like I would just be on something. I would constantly be texting you like, oh man, I did this with Gravity Forms. I figured this out would work.
And I'm just like, okay, cool.
You're like, man, okay, what the hell are you talking about? Like, whatever, dude. Like, what is wrong with you? Right? But it's because you have that bug on you. You got that thing on you. You got to resolve this problem. Taking us back to, well, it's not painful for me to mention it. It's unfortunate, but it's not painful for me to mention it. When I was working on the Blind Employment Solutions website, I probably annoyed the crap out of the two of you.
Wasn't too bad, but there were a couple times where I'm like, okay, good for you, I guess.
But it's like, no, this thing needs to work this way, and it has to work, and you can't hack it together. It's got to be smooth. It's got to be an operation, man. But I really, truly am proud of you, dude, because like you really built a effing thing out there in the world that is legitimately saving time for people and solved a problem. It is a solution to a thing that had to be done. And
it's the foundation for some other things that I think we can expand to that will be more public facing for individuals involved in the community platform.
Already going. It's all over.
Because how do we grow
Hey,
community?
wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, stop. What about Marketing Mike? Because I need Marketing Mike to get my numbers up on my show, dude. What are you doing?
Well, we'll talk about numbers in a moment because they are way up, actually. But where I was going with that is we eventually, how do we grow community from 100 events per week to 300 or 400 events per week? And that's going to take
Give them
some
more money.
Not necessarily more money, but systems in place to help sustain that. Because, yeah, we can automate that. What about more money? Do you want to give us money? We'll take your money.
Yeah, you can go to technicallyworking.show and click on that supporters link.
Oh,
and
that's
become
funny.
a Tip Jar subscriber.
I was on a call today and someone was like, Michael, can we share this content that you produce? I'm like, yeah, you can share that content. Like, go for it. I don't really care. They're like, well, how can we send you a tip? I'm like, technicallyworking.show/ the tip jar.
Yeah, good job.
So
Good job.
23,420 downloads total for the show. In the last 7 days, there's been 328. TW131 Fun with Voices with bonus for supporters was published 5 days ago and has had every one of our Tip Jar subscribers has listened to it. TW131 Fun with Voices was published 5 days ago and has had 212 downloads. 215 downloads. Sorry, it was 212 and then I reloaded the page. And then the last number I'll mention, TW130 Wireless Mics. I'm not going to read the other parts of that title. Was published 12 days ago and has had 192 listens. So last time we did a number check-in, the average numbers was about 118 to 122-ish. So they're going up.
They're going up. And thank all of you for participating and listening and sharing the show as you've been doing. Thanks to Double Tap, for letting Mike come on and promote the show as well, because that's the thing that happened. That's the thing that helped for sure. But like I said, strangely enough, like out in the wild, you will meet people that are like, oh, I listen to your show. Like people, text me sometimes like, oh, I started listening to your show. I'm like, really? Like so I'm going to be honest because that is my goal, is to be not brutally honest with people. I'm trying not to be like that cruel honesty, because there's a way to be honest with people and there's a way to be cruel about it. There's a way to be nice about it. I'm going to nicely be like, what actually crosses my mind when somebody like, I don't know, good friend of ours, Amanda, I'll call her out, says, oh, I started listening to your show. What took you so long? Like, where have you been?
But I thought you already were listening. Like,
right. Like, wait, you just started listening? Like, what do you mean?
I thought you sent me this message a year ago saying that you started listening. Did we lose you somewhere? And if so, how? But yeah, shout out, Amanda.
But no, I'm not picking on Amanda, not seriously. But I do think that when some people have texted me, I'm like, oh yeah, I listened to your show. Actually got a call. So I think I told you about this. Talking to a friend / customer, and she's like, so have I been pronouncing your name wrong this whole entire time? I was like, what are you talking about? Well, I started listening to your show. I was like, really? Like, what took you so long? I told you about this show when we started it. Like, what are you doing? You're like 50 episodes in now. Like, why were you not listening?
Yeah.
The whole time. But seriously, thanks to everybody for listening and sharing the show as you have. Shout out to Sean for finally figuring it out, because Michael told me about this, but I had to actually hear it in action when it happened. And he was like, I get it. So I have been using, because we teased this last week, so we'll kind of wrap up with this little space over here for this week, because it's also Mike's anniversary as we're recording. So happy anniversary to Michael and Mallory Babcock.
Thank you. Yeah. 12 years.
Two super great people, and I will have a jar of seasoning for you guys when you get back from your cruise.
Sounds good.
Because I think I forgot that you probably were either out or getting close to running out.
I
know
have
there
2
was a
jars
jar
I
that
keep
last month.
needing to throw in the mail to you anyways, so, you'll get those.
Yeah. But, so I've been using Kagi, Kagi.com, which is a search engine. You can try it out for free. but it is a paid search engine, which means there are no ads. Well, that's what paying for stuff is supposed to mean, is that there are no ads. Disney Plus, on the other hand, doesn't quite believe that. They feel like they still need to promote their stuff before they start playing the show that you want to watch. And it's like, but I'm paying you. I don't want to see your crap. But anyway, I'm not going to be bitter today.
It's okay for Apple.
Yeah, Apple is so freaking terrible about it right now. Like, I swear to man, listen, if I had a beef, we're not doing that today. No, we'll have that conversation when you come back. Because no,
Kagi.
we're not doing that. Kagi is what we're talking about. So, I'm going to first explain what it is. I'm going to also tell you what I haven't done with it. And then I'm going to answer the question to people, why would I pay for search when Google's there or DuckDuckGo? I almost said Bing, but that's not a real search engine. We're not talking about Bing. So Kagi is a privatized search engine. I say privatized in the meaning of like, they're not trying to sell your data. So they're not tracking what you do. They're not keeping track of your searches and all of that type of stuff. Like they're not doing that type of thing. You can go out and try it for free, and you can just go to Kagi.com, and I think you do have to create an account, just so that they can, give you your however many free searches it is and all of that stuff. I tried it out on a trial. I didn't just go instantly in and go buy it. I tried it out on a trial. I was like, the search results look so clean. It's like, oh, there's your search results, and they're right there, and they're relevant because they're pulling from high quality sources. Like, it really does make a difference. So I started paying for it. So I'm like, man, yeah, I think I'm going to keep using this. And if I don't, I just pay for a month. So if I was like, I really, and I also went through the only thing I don't like with Kagi, and I don't necessarily think it's a thing they can fix, is really dependent on the browser, developers. So Firefox, Chrome, Safari, to add them as an option. You have to do a little weird workaround type of stuff to make them be your default search engine. But I went through those steps for every single browser that I use, and so that they would be my default, so I could really stress test it, right? Because I used to use DuckDuckGo. That was my primary browser. Primary search engine. So that was my primary search engine for probably the last 10 years was DuckDuckGo. So going to Kagi, the search results are super clean. And I generally find in the first few results what I'm looking for if I'm actually doing an internet search. Now, they do have some AI features. There's like a quick answer, but you have to click that. It doesn't just shove it in your face like, hey, here's this summary of what you're looking for. No, you click the button. And again, those summaries, when I have clicked, and I'll give you an example of a search I did the other day. What was the really popular lavalier mic that was shown off at CES? And instead of me clicking through a bunch of articles and YouTube crap to figure out what was that mic that I could not remember the name of, and I don't remember the name of it now, so I can't tell you. I clicked the click answers button, and it told me, the one that everybody was really talking about at CES last year was the such and such something S. And also, very highly mentioned were these couple of mics. And I'm like, nope, that first one is the one that they were talking about that I want to check out. And then, so now I did a search to find out, give me some sound comparisons of that mic versus other mics. So Kagi, like I said, for me, their search results are extremely clean. That's the main thing that I like. They're very relevant, so I don't feel like I end up doing multiple searches to get to what I'm looking for. And admittedly, oftentimes, if I'm searching for generalized information, I will go to ChatGPT. I'm researching, give me the best solution for this problem. That's a ChatGPT question. But I'm looking for something specific, like the example of those lavalier mics that everybody was talking about at CES that got announced. I would do a Kagi search for that. Kagi does have some AI stuff. It is kind of in a lot of ways, not a lot of ways, but in similar ways to what Perplexity is or was, where you could, you can use different models for certain things. All of that is there. I really have not delved that deep into all of that. I will. I wanted to talk about it today because it has been my search engine for coming up on a month. I made that second payment yet. So, coming up on a month, I'm liking it. Check the pricing because I don't want to misquote or misremember anything. I think it could be as cheap as $5 a month, up to $25 a month. They also offer family plans, so you can, or dual plans. So there's different ways if you really get into it. I'm just paying for me because one, I don't think anybody else really cares that much about private search like I do. But it's something I would like to see succeed because I can see the cracks in what Google used to be. And again, I've not used Google as a default search engine for years. Like, it always throws me off when I set up a new browser or set up a new device and I haven't made those changes. And then like I do a search in the address bar and I get a Google result. Mainly because I'm lost.
Yeah, you got to wade through
Like-
everything to get to your results.
It's like, where's the thing I was searching for though? I'm confused. What about, I don't care what people are also looking for. Like, I haven't got my answer. What are we doing? But Kagi does give you some free options there. There's a lot more to it. There's lots of ways to customize how your search results are pulled. Etc. and displayed. So I'm gonna be going into that over the next couple of months. So I will be following up, but I just wanted to put that out there to let people know like I am using it and it's cool. I like it. And I think it makes sense from a business model. Sometimes there are things that you should pay for. And I think where we are on today's internet, search may be something you may consider paying for.
Yeah. And you said it's like, to check how do you spell Kagi for people who are spelling impaired?
Kagi.
Kagi.com. Perfect. Yes, thank you. Nowadays you do got to clarify that because it could have been Kagi.pizza.
Or Kagi.search because it's probably an extension.
Or Kagi.google. Wouldn't that be ironic?
Oh man, that would be funny. I would really feel some type of way about that.
Yeah, just Kagi.com.
Yep. Check that out. Also, a new thing that I just started using, I don't have a ton of thoughts on it, but I will say is the browser that I'm using at the moment as we're recording in Clean Feed. And no, Mike, I have not saved. Oh man, no, I can't remember the name of the freaking browser. What are you called? Helium.
Okay.
Helium is a Chromium-derived browser, but they have essentially by default kind of de-Googled it. Doesn't have the tracking stuff in it. They're doing a lot of privatized stuff. In a lot of ways, if you follow browsers to any extent, or you try out different browsers because you're like Chrome is slightly annoying or creepy, or however you may put it. And, Brave kind of made this sort of promise, but Brave got some weird token stuff going on that I never felt comfortable with because I don't understand it. Helium works. That's all I can say. It's free. It's open source. So if you are a much better developer than I am, you can go build it from source if you want to. You don't have to use their downloadable version, but it is available for Mac and Windows. Possibly also Linux. I'm not sure if you're one of those people. Shout out to the Penguins, though. We appreciate you. But that's about all I got to say for it. Like, I've been using it. I have 1Password installed. I have I think that's actually the only extension I actually have installed at the moment is 1Password. Because it comes with a pretty good script blocking plugin. uBlock Origin, for people who may be familiar with that, as a extension that worked on Chrome and Firefox for years. And out of the box gives you some pretty good third-party script blocking. So, you can help cut down on all those, ad trackers that are tracking you and fingerprinting you all across the internet as you visit different sites. This is just built into this browser. But from a usability standpoint, I don't think you would necessarily notice off.
So
I don't think you would notice right away that, like, if somebody just installed this and, put you in front of it, I don't think you would be like, oh, what did you do to my Chrome? Or what is this? Like, it just works.
Okay. Well, maybe the AI who makes our show notes will put links to these in the show notes. Does Kagi have a referral system, Dita?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Okay. I will tell people that right now, I was looking at their pricing because we know how that goes when we talk about something. We go look, and if you did not know, Kagi has a fair pricing. If you don't do any searches in a month, they'll give you a credit for that next month of service. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I don't know that I would not use search in a full month, but who knows?
Who knows? I mean, I would say it's worth trying. Like, I tried it out this way, right? Like, I set it up, and I kind of think I made it a default. I went through the process to make it default in, like, Chrome or something.
Yeah.
And I think for free, I think you get, I want to say it's 100 searches, but I could be wrong about that.
It says 100 right here, but it also says that you can try it for free as well.
Yeah, that's the free, is you get 100 searches. I think I may have used 5 altogether because they didn't count everything I did as a search or something. I'm not sure how they did that. There's a big explanation they give you on how they calculate what is a search versus what is not a search. Because their $5 a month plan, if that's what it is, I think is 300 searches.
Yep.
And if you try it out and you kind of like it a little bit, but if you're kind of doing what me and Michael are doing, where, some searches happen in the address bar and some searches happen at chat.com or Gemini.google. Wait, now I got to see if that works.
Or bard.google.com is where I still go. Still, man. Still.
Oh, well, that did not work. GEMINI.GOOGLE.
Fail, Google. Fail.
That is awful. I got it. Oh, no, there it is.
Oh, it did come up? Okay.
All right. I was going to say, because that's an epic fail. You own the whole TLD as your company name, and you didn't set that up.
I can go to blog.google. Why couldn't I go to Gemini?
I should be able to go to mail.google and get to Gmail.
Does Google?
That should work.
No, they don't own new. Because you can go to docs.new, but you can also go to invoice.new too. So maybe Google does own .new and they just lease to Stripe. I don't know. Anyways, that's a rabbit hole, and we should probably wrap up.
Yeah, I don't know if they own that .new. I don't know. I read somewhere who owns that. But yeah, we won't go down that rabbit hole because there's a lot of .new. Message.new. What does that do? Okay, we're not doing that.
Tip to our subscribers. This is what you pay for.
Oh man, listen. Thanks for listening. This has been. I figured it was something like that because I feel like I tried that before. I think the .new is either owned. I can't remember who owns it, but there's a whole thing there, and that's why everybody can kind of use it. It's just you have to be big enough. Like, you can't go to tw.new and get the latest episode. That does not work. Nobody contacted us about that if it does work, so I want my cut or whatever you're making. Anyway, thanks to everybody for listening. We truly appreciate it. I will talk to Mike before he leaves, for sure. But publicly, I want to say to Mike, listen, man, you have a well-deserved vacation coming up with Mallory, and hopefully you don't let her pack too many shoes to go along. But have fun, man. Have a good time. Relax. Mike is going to be disconnecting, so I will actually have to. Man, this is going to be weird.
That you're going to have to publish.
No, that I won't be able to just randomly call Mike or text Mike and then get a response back because he's going to be on a freaking boat somewhere in the middle of the ocean. It's going to be kind of like what you, I don't know. I guess I got to deal with it though, because Mike had to deal with this crap for me when I was at Gentry. So I was not on a vacation, however, but I'm not bitter about that at all. But have fun, man. We won't be chatting for a little while after you leave. But have fun, unwind, do some thinking.
Yes.
I'm curious to see what you come back with. I think this is going to do two things. It's going to do two things for sure that I'm thinking about. I'm pretty sure of that are relevant to the show, if nothing else. Number one, I think Mike is going to come back kind of recharged with some different ideas. And also, he's really going to make the point, even if he doesn't make the point directly. The point is going to be made to me that I really need to take a vacation because I can't remember the last time I just took some time off and didn't do anything but just like disconnect from the world and listen to audiobooks or something. So, have fun, man. It's well deserved. You put a lot of work in. And then as soon as Mike comes back, he hits the ground running because he's got like a couple of different conventions and crap to do. So,
yeah, we'll see how that goes. And yeah, it'll be fun. Appreciate it. Before you wrap it up, I do want to say, according to ChatGPT, Google does own the .new domain as of 2019.
Okay. That kind of makes sense. I felt like that's what I read, but I wasn't so certain about it to say it. That they owned it and then they set it up for people to do different stuff because, like, hey, it's Google and they have a lot of money. I think Google's going to buy the .io, which will save me from having invested a bunch of money in this .io that then goes away because the Indian Ocean no longer exists or whatever they did. I don't know what they did. Anyway. Man, this has been a week. We didn't even talk about the Braille thing.
The Braille thing?
What is it called? Braille access?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Braille access on mobile.
Yeah. Tip jar people, tip jar people, hang around. We'll throw a little bit in here about just our thoughts on that, I think, real quick. And we'll talk more about it once we both have actually used it because neither one of us have at this point, I don't think. But anyway, thanks to everybody for listening. We appreciate you. And listen, despite the fact that I give tighter hugs to the tip jar supporters, I still love you too, even if you're not a tip jar supporter, because you know what? You're supporting the show by listening.
Yep.
And another way that you can support the show is just share it. Like we're on YouTube, I almost said we're on WhatsApp, but WhatsApp is not turned into a podcasting platform yet. But we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're everywhere you can find a podcast. So, YouTube is a good place to share clips to people for sure. If you use Overcast, you can do clips. There may be other podcast players that do clips, but we're everywhere. Just share the show. Tell a friend about the show. Tell them what you find valuable. Also, another way that you can help support the show is by giving us your feedback. I'm kind of feeling a little, what's the word? Like abandoned. There's no email coming in. And I know the email works because I tested it just to make sure that wasn't the reason that I wasn't getting email. And Mike also forwarded that random email about this guest that we don't need to talk to. So the email address works. It is feedback@technicallyworking.show. Don't put anything else after you put .show. That's it. That's done. That's the email address. Feedback@technicallyworking.show. That's it. Then you can tab over or however you navigate and type your message or dictate your message. But we appreciate the people who have been sending feedback to us over the time. Shout out to Scout because we ain't heard from you in like 9 months or something, man. Like hopefully school ain't kicking your butt too tough.
Yeah.
But we appreciate everybody's feedback.
Huh.
It's been
Say
about
hi,
9 months,
Scout.
I would think.
We want to hear from you. I just realized I don't think I've heard. Didn't I used to follow Scout on social media too?
I think we both follow Scout.
Yeah.
On Mastodon.
Yeah. Say hi to us. We want to make sure you're there.
Yeah. Just like, it's tough. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
We'll get it. Because we know you're going for that degree. And best of luck to you. So, everybody else, we're also on the Mastodon. He is Payown, P-A-Y-O-W-N. Man, Sora. So, anyway, never mind. We gotta wrap this show up. All right. I made a video and I didn't publish it. And I was going to send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, we got to talk about this because I have not figured out how to make one.
Okay. All right. Tip jar people, stick around. He's Payown on Mastodon, but we're talking Mastodon here now. He's Payown, P-A-Y-O-W-N at
Mastodon
dragonscave.space.
Yep.
Right. That's how you can mention him in your Mastodon post. You can talk to me on Mastodon. I am Damashe, Damashe, at technically.social. You can mention me that way. You can follow our bot or mention our bot. We got to check the poll. Hold on. I'm going to have to do that before we finish the show. But anyway, you can follow the bot. It's TW at technically.social. And the hashtag technically working is also a way to interact with us as well, or include us into a conversation. And we appreciate if you capitalize the T and the W in those words. It helps out just with pronunciation because it just sounds better. So, the results of the poll for people listening, we had a poll. The question was, who's going to ship the first agentic podcast editor, which means you just tell it to go off based off my prior episodes, edit my show.
Mm-hmm.
And now I didn't realize this when we did the show last week, that there was only 2 options I could pick in Mona for the poll. So instead of having 3, there was only 2. So I had Adobe and we had Descript. And one of us should have a drum roll set up, but we are not Steven Scott, who doesn't have anything to do except, set up all these Farrago boards and stuff. Like, we're talking tech over here. We're not just, screwing around with sound.
I need to get him to send me just some
How dare you? I can hear him saying it right now. What's up, Steven?
Yeah.
But I'll give Mike a guess at who won if he hasn't already looked.
I have not looked. Adobe.
It was Adobe.
Yeah.
Now I am very disappointed because there was only 3 votes.
Oh. Okay.
But we'll do this again because that was a random thing that just occurred. So maybe next time we'll plan it a little bit more. But yeah, we got 3 votes. One of those was mine. One of those is Michael. I have no idea who the third person was, but thank you for participating, third person.
Yes. Thank you, third person.
I think I picked the script just to be contrary because nobody had picked it yet. But I did get a notification today that reminded me that this poll even existed, that it was over. But all right, thanks everybody for listening, and we are out of here. This has been episode 132 of Technically Working, and you'll hear a show next week.